Restaurant gone, currency exchange gone, drugstore or corner convenience store gone. You know, beautiful homes. You know, you can see people have pride of ownership.
Right.
Okay, you know when people care about their neighborhood. Right.
Like generation after generation, these brothers feel like they need to murder and kill each other. And over here on 75th and Southshore Drive, this is the building that was in the ice raid. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your man Will. Hope everybody is doing all well. Hey, I'm still on my quest to cover the south side of Chicago, and I have a few more neighborhoods I'm going to hit, like Roseland, Woodline, Park Manor. But today I'm actually going back to the South Shore neighborhood to meet up with my friend Vicky. We're going to get her point of view on how she feels about living in the South Shore area, how it has changed, what's there now, and then also talk about the reason why the business corridors look like that. Like, why are there so many empty, vacant commercial spaces, and why are they not available for lease or for sale? So yeah, so y'all can take this walk with us while we walk around today and have a conversation. And please hit that like and subscribe button. And then also, if you have some insight on why these properties are vacant, leave a comment, you know, put us up on some information. So let's take this walk. I appreciate you all. My 2 cents.
My name is Vicky W. I'm a retired Chicago public school teacher, and I've been in South Shore my whole life ever since I was a toddler. We're rich with stories and history. We have a beautiful community. We often get portrayed, along with the rest of Chicago, as one big ghetto, but it's really a beautiful city, beautiful neighborhoods. We have a lot of potential. Behind me is the beautiful Rainbow Beach, starting at 75th and South Shore Drive, right down the street from the building that got raided. And just to show that a lot of these images are distorted. They're not actually incorrect, they just distorted and they skew a certain way, so people don't really know what's really going on in our community. We're on the southeast side. We're a little bit south of South Shore. They call this area South Chicago. I think South Shore cuts off at 79th Street. I lived over here for, my mom bought a house over here in '87. My cousin bought a house not too far from here in about '72. And the neighborhood was changing over from white to black. We had white flight. And what happened, and we're going to show a little bit later, is, you know, the homes stayed beautiful in South Shore and this community.
Right.
However, and we'll show parts of the commercial strip on 79th Street to see just to juxtapose what the commercial versus the residential looks like. And it's night and day.
Right.
As you can see, these are beautiful homes. So people obviously have discretionary income.
Right.
They're prosperous. You can't even buy a home unless you are at a certain income. You definitely can't maintain it, right? The upkeep. And as you can see, these are beautiful homes. And some people might even, you know, I don't know if you would consider this a mini mansion, but, you know, kind of that vibe anyway.
Right.
So you can see how beautiful the homes are.
Right. Okay.
So the potential for community development is here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's drive around and see some more of the neighborhood then.
Okay. Well, one of the things and another community to really admire about urban blight and turnaround is Woodline. So Woodline had a organization, the Woodline organization. I don't think they're in existence anymore, but they worked on revitalizing Woodline. If you go to Woodline, it's a whole different community now. Now they did have University of Chicago helping them. So what you have to do is you have to have somebody to generate that economic development.
Right.
So we're in the 7th Ward. Where a lot of I think the commercial needs to be developed. But if you go over to the 8th Ward, I'm kind of familiar with that alderman over there, and she works really hard in bringing businesses into that ward. And you have to have somebody actively bringing in businesses.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Nothing happens on its own. Somebody you gotta have boots on the ground.
Right, and an alderman that really wants change.
Right. Restaurant gone, currency exchange gone, drugstore or corner convenience store gone. I just realized this little store down here had been open for a while. Looked like the braiding shop is still open, but somebody had he had a store in here. He closed. He had handcrafted purses, I believe.
And didn't it used to be a library down here?
I don't think it was a library
Yeah,
down
it used to be
Really?
a library down here. Let's see if that's still
okay.
open.
I don't remember a library, but
It used to be a library right here on the corner because when I went to CVS, we used to get off the bus right here and walk down to this, it was in Chicago. Yeah, wow. That's closed too. Well, it looked like they turned it into,
this cleaner was here forever.
yeah, this cleaners is here forever.
Kirkwood taxes, it looked like they might still be here. Hard to tell.
Yeah, this place has been open for a long time too.
Yeah, they had. I've used their services. I guess they still
Kirkwood,
open.
yeah,
Sure.
Kirkwood. Oh, okay, they turned it into a nursery school. Okay.
Yeah.
This used to be a library
Oh, really?
back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Yup, right here on the corner. It was a Chicago Public Library because we had this as a library. Now it's a nursery school. And, you know, it used to be another library on 73rd and Exchange.
I think that's still there.
I think, okay, that's
I think
awesome.
that's still there.
Yeah, and those were the only two libraries that we had on this side of town was this one and the one on 73rd and Exchange. But you're right, it used to be a JJ's Fish over there.
Right.
That's closed.
Right.
Beauty supply. Yeah, it's you're right. Like everything is closed in our neighborhoods.
So
like,
think about the homes, think about the residential. Why? Just like I keep asking myself, why?
because you got people that's working, they got money to spend, but then they can't even spend. It's nowhere. Right, it's nowhere for them to spend money in their neighborhoods.
And we always say support black, but if you wake up one day like, okay, let's just give you the example. I'm redoing my bathroom, right? The towels don't match, so I gotta get new towels. I got to drive out of my neighborhood to get those towels.
Right.
That's money not going into the neighborhood. So everybody wakes up every day and they need something, right? Whether it's food, something for their house, something for their kids. And we have to drive over here and over there.
Right.
When it used to be you could come up here on 79th Street and get something.
Right. The hardware store is closed too.
We don't even have Walgreens anymore.
Right.
Okay, now we can go over to Stony, 87 and Stony. We had a Walgreens on 71st and Jeffrey. The one on 35th and King Drive closed. We used to have one on 95th and Jeffrey closed.
Right. What do you think is the solution?
I think the solution, we need like a TWO, somebody on the ground with an organization that's going to actively bring the businesses and then stir up the community to support those businesses and make people in the community feel like they're a part of something. You know, I have my background is not only in education, but also marketing. There are strategies that you can do to get people engaged in anything. You know, you give them a benefit, but somebody has to do it. It has to be boots on the ground.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Anytime something's not being done, it's because nobody's doing it.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna deviate a little bit. Like one of the things we need in our community, we need more males in the classroom. And every time, and I'm not gonna do it because I'm not a man, but I keep putting it out there. Somebody needs to put an organization together dedicated to getting men in the classroom. It's such a game changer.
Right.
The studies show that if a boy, especially a black boy, has a black male teacher by 5th grade, his chances of going to college, his chance of going to college is increasing. Not saying everybody got to go to college, we know that.
Right.
But it speaks, you know, volumes to how much our boys need to see positive males like you will growing up.
Thank you.
Because sometimes they don't have it at home, so the next best place is the classroom. Somebody needs to do that, okay?
Right.
Stuff don't get done because people are not doing it, okay? So my message is going to be to everybody. Find your 2 cents. Your 2 cents with my 2 cents and everybody else's 2 cents is $1.
It's $1.
And
right.
100%. So
Right.
this shoot, the first thing that closed was this. It was a drugstore right here. I remember years ago when I was in high school, There was a newspaper stand here, and this was a drugstore. There used to be a restaurant. There used to be a currency exchange.
Right. It used to be a gym shoe spot too, I think, at one point.
Yeah, probably. That was Walgreens. They just closed. You know, Walgreens is closing everywhere in our community.
Right.
And I think the church is closed. I'm not really sure.
The church and the school is closed.
Yeah.
Our Lady of Peace.
All right, so our major thoroughfare is dead. You know, you got those beautiful homes. You got those beautiful homes, but look, why is this commercial strip like this? So I grew up with a guy, because we played ball on the street. And I grew up with a guy who played football on the street. He ended up in the NFL. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's important that kids are able to come out and play. You know, they sitting playing these video games. When I first started teaching 20 years ago, it blew my mind how unhealthy the weight of the kids.
McDonald's still open though.
Yeah, McDonald's still open.
Wow.
That's probably the only
this
thing
whole
open.
building is closed.
Right, exactly. That's probably the only thing left from after white flight.
Wow.
That's probably the only thing open.
And I remember there used to be a liquor store.
Yeah, they did. I think they voted this place dry. Was that True Value may have been there?
Yeah, that's always been there.
Okay, that's probably one of the leftovers. And this used to be, I think, a Woolworths, right?
Yeah, it used to be a Woolworth. Yeah.
I remember there was a restaurant on this corner.
Yeah, that used to be Bonton.
What is that grocery store?
That used to be Aldi's.
Aldi's,
and
okay.
Before Aldi's, my mother said it used to be a roller rink.
Oh, okay.
Like in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
It used to be a roller rink.
Yeah, this was a very vibrant
Even here,
strip.
like this strip mall over there, that used to be a Jewel.
Oh, okay.
Before the strip
I remember a Jewel.
Yeah, yep.
So, this restaurant's been able to hang. Look like they got a church meeting or something. Yeah, so this had gotten really rough at one time. It's kind of calmed down. The kids used to, I think you might quote me wrong on this, but I think they used to call this Terror Town.
No, Terror Town is on 75th.
Okay, so that's down on 75th? So we can move down on 75th. That's where, here's a new development, but let me pull aside.
Yeah.
So here's a new development.
Wow.
So the alderman looks like his name is on this. Oh, shoot. Go around, girl.
Wow. Brand new building, right across from the metro station, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's something I saw. Now, this is interesting. You might want to get this building right here because Barbershop 2, I believe, was shot here.
Yeah, yep. And then behind here, it was over in this other building.
Okay.
And, yep, wow.
So we got that. Let's move on down the road here.
Yeah.
Move on down.
Wow, that's a beautiful building.
Yeah, it is. Like it's gonna be a beautiful building.
I wonder how much the rent is going to be. $2,000.
I have no idea.
Wow. Really, like the rent, like that's another thing what all of us is going through. Housing is so expensive now.
Yeah.
Like you need, for a decent place to live, it's like $2,000.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Unless you live somewhere, less desirable, but then you go pay, but then there's all the other stuff you got to deal with.
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
Senior building. Like generation after generation, these brothers feel like they need to murder and kill each other and steal and all of that.
Well, one thing we don't talk a lot about is identity. You've had a whole popular media telling these kids that they were thugs. It goes back to why I think we need men in the classroom. If all you see is people that look like you, carrying out these behaviors, these antisocial behaviors, and being a thug, and you had a whole industry romancing, shooting, calling each other MFs and Ns, and calling the females Bs and Hs. And then you talking, if you know anything about child development, when a child comes in this world, they don't have an identity.
Right.
They don't even have a language. The reason kids in our community speak English because they grew up in an English-speaking community. You take a child born in China, they're going to speak Mandarin. So this is the language and the imagery coming into these children, right? When they're babies. And so they grow up and they act out. And our community didn't say nothing. They glorified this thing. And so now it's out of control. So like I said, they're bits and pieces. I think our boys need really positive male images from an early age because they might not get it at home. The ones that do get it at home, it's a difference. You can see the difference in the kids that had, you know, certain things. And I'm not putting mothers down, but I mean, really, can you really teach a boy how to be a man?
Over here on 75th and Southshore Drive, this is the building that was in the ICE raid like two weeks ago, where ICE they raided this building for Venezuelan gangs and for other illegal immigrants that took this building over. There was a lot of speculation saying that black people were detained. I'm sure they were detained in the raid, because when it's a raid, everybody is detained when it goes down. Unfortunately, our people was caught up in that. But this building has been on this corner for decades. It's always been a decent building, but unfortunately, you can just tell this is going through a moment of plight right now. It's a lot of broken out windows. There's a lot of broken doors. But to say that, a lot of people say, well, no, it was on 75th. It was on 75th and Southshore Drive. It's all black people lived in this building. And I beg to differ. It wasn't just all black people that lived in this building. At one period of time, it was all black, but over the past few years, after the immigrants moved in this neighborhood, a lot of these buildings are, you know, it's Venezuelans, Mexicans, other people from South America that live in our community now. But I don't know. Vicky, what did you think about this whole situation?
According to people on the ground, we had 3 hot spots in Chicago where there was some immigrant, particularly Venezuelan gang members, and they were targeted.
Oh, coming this way, you in the shade.
Let me get in the sun.
Yeah.
So according to people on the ground, not listening to media narratives, because you know they get distorted, there was a real problem in this building, and there supposedly was a gang execution, and there's really 3 hot spots. This is the one that got all the attention, but according to people on the ground, okay?
Yeah.
So for what it's worth. And I would like to go over there and see what's going on now. Actually, hopefully we'll find somebody that really knows.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna let's walk up to the front.
I saw I think that man with the red hat came out the back.
Oh, yeah.
He might know something. I'm gonna ask him. Hey, bro. Hey, you know about this building? So I saw that guy come out, the one with the red hat. He came out the back door.
So he probably
live
one of the
here,
few
right?
People still live here.
Right.
But you see us moving trucks.
Right. Yeah, you can see they took some of the appliances out.
Yeah, it used to be a laundry room.
Uh-huh. So it might be a few people still living there.
Yeah. So think about these buildings, right? Like, who's holding these buildings? Like, how could you afford to keep a building vacant this long? Because people own these buildings. And it's like, okay, you all are not rehabbing it to attract a tenant, a business, for a building this size to sit like just vacant like this. Who's holding these buildings? You think about the owners, like what is the end game, or what is their game to say, I'm gonna have a building in this condition for so long?
Yeah.
That's what makes me think about the whole, like, you know, thing about black neighborhoods. Is a lot of these buildings are either held by like some type of holding company or something like that for them to not do anything with them.
Yeah, good question.
And it can't be like any of us that's owning these properties, because it's like most black people that own their businesses, they do something. I mean, own the property, they do something with it.
They do something, right?
Right, or they're trying to make money off of it.
Right.
But to have these huge buildings like this just sit vacant for years,
right?
What's that all about? Man, y'all, this is a good one. It's a good one.
Now, here's an example of somebody who they said, listen, I'm going to do my part, and I know the owner. I'm not going to say her name right now, but she owns this event center down here, and she has events here. She has things on, like I think Friday nights, jazz clubs. I've been here, where it's been like a sit-down dinner while artists, mainly jazz artists, perform. It's a really nice venue. Any more black-owned businesses down here?
All right, this is one business on 75th Street.
The Quarry.
The Quarry. They have a setup where you can do events. They rent it out in hour blocks. Really nice. Brother said they got this set up to do a Monday, to do football. Oh, okay, yeah.
You can rent it out now.
Yeah, so you can rent this out to have your event. They have 2 rooms. This is just one room that I can show. The other room is being cleaned up and stuff, so we can't showcase that. They had the event last night, but right here on the south side, y'all.
And I can say that I've been to events here. They have really nice jazz sets, sit-down dinner events.
Yeah, stage, nice.
And the owner is very community-oriented. And she wanted to do something in her community, and it goes back to my 2 cents. That's her 2 cents. So if we need more people like Yvette to do this kind of thing in our community, we can turn it around. Yeah.
Nice.
We definitely need. We can't wait for politicians to do everything. You need business people.
What's the exact address?
2423 East 75th Street.
2423 East 75th Street.
The Quarry.
The Quarry, right over here in Southshore. Nice.
Working kitchen.
And one of the things I think I want to come out the gate with is just showing people who have had an impact. I got about 5 stories like that, like how we got Southshore High School built, how Powell got built. I don't know if I told you a story about Powell. I was like, in my 20s, I was living with my cousin on 78th and Marquette, and this woman comes up to me and she has me sign a petition because Bradwell was overcrowded.
Okay.
Next thing I know, they were building that new school. She had galvanized the community, went to the board, and they built them a new school on Southshore Drive. That's one story. That new Southshore High School is a whole community movement that got that school built, okay? Community was organized and they engaged their elected officials and they got that school. But it's a backstory to that. So there are a lot of little stories like that. They don't get a lot of press.
But that's what you need to do to get things done.
Right.
Instead of just complain.
Right. So you got to get involved. You got to find out who the players are.
Look at that. I mean, all 3 of these big old buildings. Look at that, y'all. Vacant. Like, look at the stone work on that building. That's a beautiful building. I'm sure it's probably built like in the 20s. But down at the bottom, vacant. Like, look at this building right here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 retail spaces at the bottom, vacant. Even this one. Looked like they did some stone work, some tuck pointing to preserve the top, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4 other retail spaces vacant. Is it because the rent is so high, or is it just because these buildings are not made available for people to open open businesses. That's another one. Now this look like this used to be like a car shop or something.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
Man, y'all, that was super cool to be walking around and talking with Vicky and also just covering some more land that I didn't cover before in Southshore. And it was good to get her perspective because she's basically echoed the same concern that I've been saying in these past videos in reference to the South Side and why all of the business corridors are vacant. It's like, it's crazy how you can tell that these business owners are holding these properties either for tax purposes or for some other investment reason why they think, or they possibly think that the value is going to go up once, you know, more development is planned for those neighborhoods. But it's just unfortunate that you have a lot of businesses, or you got a lot of people that's maybe starting a business. They need a location in their neighborhood to open a business, and unfortunately it's not available. And then another thing we can talk about in reference to just to everywhere, like the housing crisis that we have right now. You know, everybody is talking about all this political stuff, but we're all feeling the heat of this housing crisis, inflation, the prices of everything is sky high, you know, and just think about like all of the development when you talk about housing. They're not building houses anymore. Everything is luxury apartments. So if you're a person that's not making luxury money, you know, where are you going to find somewhere affordable to live if everything they building is luxury apartments and not just regular apartments or houses? So I don't know, y'all. This is something that, you know, I think that we should continue to talk about. You know, that's just my 2 cents. But I appreciate you all checking out this episode. We go see more Vicky. She's working on her channel, so when it's up and ready, we're gonna I'm gonna share her link so you all can subscribe to her channel. But yeah, check me out on the next one. So please hit that subscribe button so you can see the next few neighborhood videos that I'll be posting. All right, I love y'all. Y'all have a good week. Peace.